was with Memo and with me. You can write or you can open your mics. It's fine.
If I can take the lead and break the ice from Hungary. Yeah, I really appreciated the session, and it really gave a better insight of how the compliance and any audit system of the entity can work proper. And also we could align some points that were questioning, and basically we could get all the information that we needed to gather in order to improve the system and make it easier for the local committees, especially because the system is kind of for them, and we just want to make sure that really the entity complies with the internal rules. So yeah, basically I'm really happy to have this opportunity, and thank you for all sharing from Lilo, because it was really useful.
Cool, thank you. I am reading the comments, and Drew said that the space was really amazing and quite futuristic. I want to know why. Why it was futuristic?
Because we were looking to automate these things called audit process. We've been trying to figure out if there's a possibility that we can automate things, you know, like checking the documents, trackers, and all of that, because it's way too much and involves a lot of human errors. So I mean, it's better if we trust the machines on this.
Do the audit.
AI classes. Okay, actually, I have a member on my team, Erico. He's from Brazil. He knows. Oh my God! You saw Nikki's face when I mentioned him. He's very smart. He's working with us right now and try to understand how we can automatize some things. He will be the main responsible. He is right now the main responsible for dashboards that we have a surprise for you, not in this VICO, but sometime soon. And it will be really good. So let's just focus on fixing expa rather than bringing machines. Okay. Oh, cool. I will ask him to talk to you, Sergio. Thank you. Cool. Now that we are in a new space, I will share my screen, and I will ask the beautiful Nikki to start this space that is really nice, and I am sure that you will love it.
I almost started to talk when I was muted. This is a bad habit that I catch from Viola, I think. So, hello everyone. Welcome to another working space with audit and compliance team. Because it's never enough about us and never enough working with us. So, welcome. Again, we are going to be here as auditors, as AC Wind. So you can ask questions. Also, you can find your auditor in private. So ask questions, even regarding what we had in the last sessions as well. Or if you have any concerns, just please let us know, because we love to talk with you guys, and we are really approachable. So whenever you have any concern, let us know. And even whenever you achieve something, you can also let us know, because we love good things, not just bad things. So let's move on. We have the session alignment. This is going to be also a 90-minute session, which is quite long. It's the same. You can bring snacks, any water, and try to find a comfortable position. I am actually thinking about it because my lower back starts to hurt. So I advise to do that. Please keep Zoom in a full screen when we have, well, we had a lot of details, and also using laptops. You can also join with your phones to do stuff, or to interact with the other thing, but don't be on phones, because it's like super small and it's confusing. And we are also going to work on to achieve milestones. So be proactive, be here with us, and just enjoy the participation. Oh my God! Yes, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So in scale of Harry Potter, how are you today? And please explain why. This was a surprise slide. Thank you, Lilo.
Oh my God. I want to know why 9, why 3, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 7, 5, 5, 4, 3, 8. That is a weird combination. Luis,
1, 2, 3.
10. 3 and 2, 8, 7, because we have on quarter review and it's the beginning of the conference week, so attack mode on. Smart. 4, 5. I want to know someone that is telling 9 and 5 and 3.
5 is a permanent state. Oh, I think we lost Lino.
Yeah, she's free.
If you want to do some memes, just you had your chance. Hi, Lino. Now I can see you. Yes.
I lost the connection, sorry. Anyone talked?
No, we just went through the comments.
Okay. I
We
will
have
ask.
5.
I want to ask Drew, why you were so many numbers?
Okay, so I misinterpreted the picture. Actually, I wanted to say 1, but I thought 9 was the happy one, so I wrote 9. So please is what my mistake. Sorry.
Cool, it's fine. Leonardo, why are you 3? Leonardo Sandoval.
Because I have a bad day yesterday for a COVID problem, and so.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I hope things go better.
yeah.
8, ready to put the world on fire. Cool. And actually, this is very connected with the things that we have for you today. Nikki, how are you feeling? Which Harry are you today?
Every possible of Harry. Just kidding. Wow, I can't choose. I think I am 1. Sometimes I am 5 according to this week. But I am also an 8. I think you could experience that since the beginning of VICO, that I'm super hyped. If not, then I'm going to be even more hyped.
Cool.
And how are you?
Thank you, Nikki. I think that I am a mix of 1 and 3. 3 because VICO starts at my 7 a.m. So I was like sitting, I was like, do I really have to live? And that's it. But now I am like an 8 and a 1. So I am very happy. And we can move. I am too happy. I lost all my files for some odd reason that I erased data. Ooh, why life is like that. Okay, cool. Let's continue. And here we have our session outline. And when I saw the comment of put the fire to the world or something like that in the comment for the Harry Potter number 8, and I said it was connected, it's because I am aware, like I was BD last term, I am AC now, and I am aware that one of the main issues that we have with our work as ECB can be directly connected with, first, our MC synergy, and second, our our LCPs, sorry. And one of these reasons is that they always attach to the book and they say, oh, but this was not in the global compendium. This was not in the national compendium. Like, I know, I've been there. This is something that we had to deal with every day. And right now that we have a global compendium and a national compendium and an audit system and a lot of things that should be part of those compendiums, why we don't take advantage to legislate everything about ECB? Because indeed, it's not mandatory to legislate things, but it will be so much better, because I know that some LCPs are asking you already, oh, but in the national compendium, it says that you cannot freeze me. And you can say, okay, it's global compendium, but they are not going to believe you. So that's why we have the first part, an ECB Annex. This ECB Annex was created and developed by ISEC in France. So, because you know that Cande, say hello, Cande. Hello. Okay, I pretended to be Cande.
Hey, I was muted. Hi.
She is MC Finance in France. And we have Sue, Sue is here. I don't think she's here, right? No. We have Sohai, that it's also from BD, and he is ECB chair in France. And I am so happy to know that I like the way that ISEC in France is working with ECB. So that's why we have the ECB Annex that was mainly developed by Cande. Then we have an indemnity form that I think you will love this document. Then we have some things about contract that you are always asking, oh, why should have the contract, and so on. And then we are going to move to a working space, to a Q&A. Criteria to join AC is to forget your mic muted. Yes, we are going to open application soon, so remember that for the interview. And that's basically how we plan to work for today. Yes, it is a working space because we are going to give you the deliverables. And since we are here, the people that build all of those things, you can ask us if you don't know what to put in certain places. So we are going to start with the ECB Annex, and it's like, because it's amazing how you can start building everything. And here is the document. While I open it and I share the link in the chat, can you tell us about this creation? How has been the implementation in your entity? What are the good things that you see? And that, please.
Yes, okay, guys. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. We were having actually before something legislated already in the compendium, but it was like a minimum of minimum. So we literally start working in these ECB annexes. So here you're going to find the definition of ECB, the purpose, the applicable documents, how the ECB chair should be chosen, should be elected or not, and literally all the things that complains to ECB, what it means, to who they actually answer to it, that in this case is ICB. So look, go down, start going down. Amazing. Duties that they have, what are the things that they need to comply of, how the structure is going to be defined, because you know that it's always that ICB has recommendations for you, but at the same time we need to see if it actually faces 100% the reality or not. Then you can go down again, how they're going to be dismissal or not, who actually is going to choose the ECB chair and who is not. Also the same for the ECB members, how they're going to be selected and how they're not going to be selected, and what was going to happen if they need to be in probation, if they're going to be dismissal, if they're fired or whatever happened. And then we start having the beautiful ECB selection. Okay, coming a little bit down. A little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah. Okay. Well, yes, go a little bit more down. Stay there. We also implement in these ECB annexes the compliance matrix, what's applicable, the policies, every single thing that they need to ensure that the compliance is going in a good way, or what happens if they are not complying with it, what are the sanctions. Like you can see even there, that says like ensuring compliance and the violations that can be identified. like with submission of whistleblowing, that the entity also is going to be freezed, the entity, the LC in this case, etc., etc., etc. How we're going to audit, how do we report the compliance, each violations that we're having, the sanctions criteria, and like all that they can have. For this part, as you're going to see, like there's a few parts that you're having yellow. This is because in those cases, it can also be like how you want to adapt it to your entity. So for example, in our case, we also put in this part that per missing document, they're going to have to pay a penalty of €5, for example. But it's something ours. You can add it, you cannot add it, as you wish. Then we start explaining like the whole main purpose of the ECB audit and why we're going to audit and all the types that we're going to have. We have from interviews, from documents, from sometimes even consultancy spaces, and if in case needed of some LC, we're also going to do a visit one. Timelines and reports like to LCPs and to MC, also to MCP. Then you're going to have, for example, for each month and the time that you're going to have to audit. And this one that I want you to see that I put in yellow is because finance, marketing, BD, and PM, it's something that we audit in France. We audit. But I put it in yellow because you still like, I know that there's some entities that doesn't audit this part, so you can delete it. It's going to be okay. But yes, you can check it. Also for safety guidelines, because we audit in our case like quarterly, so they have four ways of safety guidelines audit, the same for COVID. And also we start explaining like when they're gonna be these audits. Yes, we even specify that because like when we say quarterly, some people can have different understanding, different ideas. So okay, no, we're gonna have this is gonna be the first one, the second, the third, and the fourth. Then we have, now we go a little bit down, Lila. We have the audit documents check. We start putting before approvals what the things that they need to have, when they're being approvals, before realization, after approvals, and we start specifying each document and even what does it mean or what it's referring to each document that we are requesting. So for example, in this case, even if it's OGX, like no matter OGT or OGV, for accommodation, in this case, for example, we also put like you need to have a huge screenshot of the conversation between the EP manager and the OP manager, okay, in saying that they're actually providing the accommodation, okay? And even sometimes if it's not enough or perhaps the conversation is not clear enough, we also request to prove photos of where the EP is living during that period. So we avoid every single possible thing that can actually happen. Good. Now, what else? We have also for after finished. Same for ICX. We have for the open phase that we know is for the opportunities. We have before realizations, after realizations, and we even have after finished. Yes, we even have after finished for them. Now, we have other outlets for them, like I put you there also too, like for finance, PM, and BD, but you also have like the other documents that you can request to your whole entity, and you should. First of all, harassment prevention committee, AR principles, LLC, checkpoints, engage with ISX2. The additional, for example, were requested to the MC, and we requested semester, by semester. We don't request like quarterly or monthly because it's going to be the same information. It didn't change. And then we put just the audit score system. You're going to have the maximum type of violations that they can have. Then we have the governance system. For example, where ECB arbitrates and they base their decisions on it, that we know that it's the APIP and the APP in case it's just regarding just one EP. The code of ethics, go me down. How we actually provide the proofs to ICB as well, the general compliance that we have the compliance procedures, steps. So all of that, it's for all of you, it's already done. You just literally copy and adapt it to your entity. And just a little bit down. We also put the same, like how to submit a complaint to ECB, because yes, I know it's in the APIP, but as Lilo told you, sometimes, and most of the times, it can happen that they say it's not in the national compendium. Okay, there you go. In the ECB Annexes, you have everything. What are the steps? After that, they also have when they can reject it or not a case. They have also the case solving flow from each state, like from LC to LC, ECB to ECB, and when it passed directly to ICB. And that was it. Gosh. Yes, that was it.
Cool, guys. So as you can see, it's a 21-page document. It's very long, but it's super concrete. Not concrete, complete, because it's long. It's 21 pages. And if you want, literally, you only have to change at least the yellow parts. If you saw here, for example, with Cande in the criteria to pass the audit or the audit score system, she has 6 sanctions. And the last one is pass at least 90% of all educational cycles, consultancy spaces, and service conducted for the purpose of audit. So you can literally start to adding these type of things. The only requirement is for you to not going against the global compendium or like the global compendium that we have. And this is the thing that I was telling you yesterday. In ICB, we have 80% of documents. France has 85. There are entities that has 90, 95. And I don't know if it's what Italy that has, I think that 100. So this is the time when you can literally shape your things, not as you want, but as the thing that you feel it's correct. For your entity, because this is not only about ECB. This applies to all of the things that you are doing to your entity because it can impact your entity. So duplicate this tool. I guess you all can see it. I just changed the permissions so everyone can view because I know that some of you don't have an ISEC mail. Duplicate it and adjust the things as you want. If you want to send us this to us or to your auditor to review it, we can have a look, but it's not mandatory because the legislation process is not something that we are demanding from you to do as we demand you to have a minimum of an audit system. It's something that we are suggesting you to do. If you see the ECB audit system, it's only a part of it. It's not all of it. And here it can be not just a chapter, it can be an entire annex to the national compendium. And for example, if you had already problems in the past with your ECB team and for example, you didn't have anything to resign or not to resign, but to dismiss a member that was not performing or that was in any case or something, you can specify it in here and you can avoid this type of situations that keep happening. So really think about the entire JD of the ECB team and you can put it in here. Once again, I don't have a deadline for this. My suggestion will be to adapt this. You don't have to adapt many things because a lot of things is already settled and it's followed by the global compendium. So I think that Cande and in general ECB France save you at least 3 hours because you just need to change some things. And that it's about the annex. Any of you has a question about this ECB annex? Or a comment or something? Or not, it's fine. We can continue with the other document. I need to present, wait. I already sent you the link. Once again, you are going to receive all of these in the output folder that it will be sent by the end of the conference, so you will have access to all of this. Then we have an indemnity form, and I have to say that this is the most requested document ever. I don't think there is someone that can say that, oh, I didn't have an ECB chart that didn't ask me for this. So we have an indemnity form for all of you. This indemnity form, you need to adjust it. And I will ask you to think, like this is settled, you can apply this to your entity directly. Of course, you need to change name and those things. But also, I will recommend you to adjust something for virtual spaces. And we don't have a template because of this. Why? Because a lot of entities are not doing virtual spaces or they are using a good protection. And this comes back again with GDPR. Right now, if you are having a conference, for example, you are going to leave an educational cycle and you are going to stream that, or if you are going to do something about showing the faces or the ideas or whatever, make sure that the people agreed that you will sing, that you will show their faces, for example. So that is something that I don't think it will be happening to you, but once again, it's something that you should be prepared for. And we also have this template that you also are going to receive. I had it open already, wait, here. And as you can see, I will also share it to everyone that can, with not only ISEC mails, so you can all have access to it. Do you see that already has the change to ISEC, the lines for you to type, for example, the flight. This is for EPs, but once you have this template, you can, wait, I didn't share it properly. You can adjust it for any type of conference. Remember that all of the activities that you are delivering as organization in the name of ISEC should have an indemnity form. If it's conferences presential, it should have. If it's I cannot speak English today, conferences and it's virtual, then you can also adjust it. Oh my God, I cannot do this. Anyone with the link. Gracias. And I will share it here. Remember that also you can make a copy, and let's review this document to see if you already know something that maybe can be improved, or if you already have something like this and there is something missing, well, you can add it. So it says, end of acknowledgement. I, Lina Segovia from Colombia with passport number something, medical insurance from certain company number something with EPID. And then it's also requesting for the TNID. I will be doing an internship in Narnia from today until tomorrow as exchange participant of the entity or the company. As exchange participant, I hereby confirm that I shall act. I need to zoom because you remember that I told you I am blind. 125. Good. I shall act responsibly by all times during my stay in Narnia, and shall do nothing which is likely to harm or diminish the reputation or goodwill of ISEC, or which will endanger my personal safety. I will comply with all applicable rules and regulations and other reasonable directions given by ISEC or others. I understand and agree that if I do not follow the rules and directions of ISEC exchange program policies, AEPP, the organization will act according to them. I will arrive to certain place, airport, or can be train station, or can be whatever transport the EP is using, with the flight number something, arriving on the day something at certain time. I will leave tomorrow on the certain day or certain time in the flight number something. I hereby declare that if during the period specified above any of my actions directly or indirectly cause any kind of damage, loss, injury to any individual, or if I participate in any illegal activity, I shall be personally responsible and liable for such actions and consequences, and ISEC shall not hold any kind of responsibility or liability on my behalf. I assume full responsibility for understanding and following the rules and safe practices associated for my personal safety. ISEC is free from all responsibility in case I want to extend my stay in the country or make another trip after the end of my exchange. Furthermore, I declare that I have taken out of comprehensive travel and medical insurance before I travel, covering the entire period of my stay in Narnia. I have read a EPP and I accept them, and ISEC won't be held responsible or liable for any loss incurred by me and not covered by my travel insurance. I acknowledge that I have read and understood the terms of this acknowledgement letter, and I understand and accept the risk associated with traveling to Narnia. Date, signature, and printed name of participant. This letter is very concrete for the EPs. Once again, it's very easy to adjust for any type of conference, that it's presential, that it's physical or virtual, and more in times of COVID. So make sure you are printing this. This is not about covering ISEC. This is about making sure that the EP is aware of the risks, that the EP is aware of what we have written in our documents, and that we are going to follow everything, and we are expecting the EP to follow and to do everything that we have already agreed with him on AEPP. This is why they should have AEPP before approval. See? And this is pretty much it. There is any question about this document that we have here? Or any comment? No? Okay. Okay, so now we are going to move back to the annexes. Wait, what is happening? Oh, here. It's loading. And now we have another template. It's not a template, actually. It is more like the contract not template. And like the documents that you saw a few minutes ago about the indemnity form, please take it to your lawyer. So make sure that he or she agrees with everything that is in there. And if they feel that something else should be added to it, then you can do it. But this is something that we don't have a template because it depends on the country. So the law numbers, the law responsibilities are something that we cannot, as an organization, decide or give you a template for. So I kindly ask you to take this to your lawyer, not these slides, but the things that you are going to see in a moment. That is about APIP. We talk about this. Ardito mentioned this yesterday in the session that we have for safety protocols, but if some of you were not in there, I am going to talk anyway about it. So please go to APIP, but make sure that is the TLC version, the one that is from February. So we have a new one that is very recently. And go to the chapter 12. The chapter 12 is ISX safety protocols. And then you see, this is so easy. You go to the page 145, and this is where everything starts. If we go right now, if we go right now to the APIP and we go to this page, 145, you will see that they mention out some things that are mandatory for the contracts to have. Here, it's ISX sending entities MC responsibilities. So one of the things is to ensure all EPs and members of each entity sign a contract with ISL local or member committee prior they travel abroad under any activities with ISX name. The contract must contain, and my phrase, but not limited to, the following. And those things are something that you need to add yes or yes. The first one, I, Lina Segovia, with passport number ABCDE, as a participant of ISEC overseas activities, if it's EP, if it's CEDAR, if it's an international conference or anything, understand and hereby agree to follow all terms, conditions, and responsibilities of myself stated in the AEPP, as well as the following statements. First, the contract needs to say, to be responsible for own participation to the ISEC overseas activity, product, and act with own safety at first priority. So the first priority is not to travel, it's to work in the things that they agreed on. Second, to be responsible for own decisions of going to the destination, country, or territory, and for any safety risk it contains. Third, fourth, to be liable for any harms caused by own actions to any stakeholders involved. 5, to have overseas travel and health insurance as own responsibility and take vaccinations if necessary. 6, to inform the contact details in the destination prior leaving the home, country, or territory to their family, emergency contact, and the sending entity, ISEC in Cafarnaum, I don't know. So those are 6 things that you need to take literally as they are right now and send it to your lawyer. So your lawyer knows that the contract needs to have at least that. After that, they can add as many things as you want. The contract should be done by your lawyer, not by you, not by any BP, not by any LCP. They need to be done by the lawyer. So you take this to them and it will be fine. Then it says that the contract must also contain all specifications in the APIP based on the ISEC program. So it needs to have the person's full name, it needs to have the duration of the activity, the contact details, the destination, the signature, the emergency contacts, the acknowledgement signature. And if you are having, I don't know, you need parents or guardians, then I'm so sorry. But if they don't have the power to enter into legal agreements, like the EP, then it will be the participants, the parents or the guardians. An example for this is, I know we cannot have minors going abroad. And of course, it won't apply to this, but this is the worst case, guys. Imagine that your EP, actually it happened to me. Imagine that your EP broke a leg and it's in the hospital. and cannot answer at the time, then they cannot take decisions because they are, I don't know, sedated or something. Then it will be the parents and guardians because the EP cannot participate on the legal agreement. So this is an example. The other is the ISEC. Can be the EP manager, for example, that it's the person responsible from the sending entity. And those are other things that the contract needs to have besides the agreements. So please take this. I told you already the page, I told you the document, I told you everything. So you can literally copy and paste it and email to your lawyer or email your MC responsible and say, hey, from now on, all of the contracts needs to have this. The other thing that happens in here is about COVID. So you need, or as COVID, you need to align some things in the contract about how the situation is in the foreign contract, in the foreign country. So for example, here, here, you need to have a risk or something, but it says, all EP's contracts should be updated with the current context, including refund policies, responsibilities, and safety requirements for the EP and OP, and revised ISEC responsibilities. So an example for this, if your EP gets infected with COVID and the insurancer is not responsible for this, or it's not covering COVID expenses, then who should do it? ISEC or the EP? Write in the comments, who do you think it should be responsible, ISEC or the EP, for their expenses of getting infected with COVID? I will be seeing the chat. I am not seeing any comment. Who do you think is responsible if an insurance company is not paying for COVID expenses? It should be the entity, it should be ISEC, or it should be the EP. Chinquita said the EP, depending on the contract signed, but mainly EP. ISEC is reliable for after infection. What else? EP. Yeah, the thing is that what General said, it's true. And this is why, for example, right now as a pandemic, it means that people can get infected everywhere. Even if they're wearing masks, if they're wearing sanitizer, whatever, they can get infected. If your contract is not clear on that, the EP can claim to you to cover all of their expenses. So make sure that your contract, yes, that's why vaccination is necessary. Yeah. Pro-vaccine, I hope you all are pro-vaccine. But think also and align everything in your contract. If your insurancer won't cover certain things, it's not ISEC responsibility. And this happens also for anything that is not COVID. If your EP gets sick by some reason, it's the EP responsibility. Of course, if the EP gets dermatitis because in the house there are animals and they infected the EP, well, we have some responsibility in there because we sent the person to a place that was not suitable for them. But there are cases where ISEC won't be responsible for this type of situations. So make sure that refunds are in there. Also, if the EP is sick and they have to come back to the country earlier, sure, ISEC reimburse him or her or not. So those are things that you need to start thinking, and you need to sit down with your lawyer. That's why ECB should have a relationship with your lawyer and start thinking about that. Nitish said, but we should have health and risk management plans for that. Yes, actually, this thing that I am reading to you, it's part of the risk management here. So indeed, that means that you are doing your work properly. Indeed, everyone should have health and risk management. And this management includes, and this is the session that we delivered yesterday with Ardito, and is you need to map out the risks. And more than having the risks, you need to have a management plan for crisis. But going back to the contracts, this should be specified in the contract. Also, another thing that you should take care of for the EPs traveling with an ISEC exchange right now, not right now, but in the past, we had a situation of where the EP traveled with certain type of visa and it needed to be completed if the EP arrived to the country. This cannot happen anymore, specifically with COVID measures. So if you are going to send an EP abroad, because I know that some countries are already open and that are going to back to work and so on, make sure that your EP has the right visa and it's covering the entire duration. Do not allow to go abroad EPs that needs to conclude their visa after 3, 4, 5 months, or that they just got the visa for 6 months and the opportunity is 1 year. Make sure that they are covering with anything, that with everything that it's needed. And I guess that's it. Well, also for the OP contracts, so this is for ICX side, it's also for the requirements, so it can be things like the OP provider, like the company guarantees that all of the workers, including ISEC workers or whatever, are going to keep the social distancing, for example, or that in case that the EP reports symptoms, this person can stay at home and don't make him work. And also some things about what will happen if the project gets cancelled. We already know that if the company goes to bankrupt, ISEC is not liable. But what if the company just decides to broke the project? Because I know, and this is not the ideal case, but we are having situations like this right now. The EP comes from China. So they don't want to receive it because they have the virus, for example. And first, this is going against the values, but also, unfortunately, those type of things needs to be aligned in the contract. And this is the thing. I don't know if so far there is a question. As you see, this safety and this contract part, it's not longer than 2 or 3 pages. And it's because we have a lot of bullet points, of bullet numbers. So yes, that's how it works. I don't know if there is any question so far or about this. I have. Go, Chinkita.
So my first question is like the contract is being this has been changed by after
I
the
don't know
TLC,
what I don't
right?
hear you.
You are not able to hear me at all? Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm walking away. Where is the internet? Okay. So my question is, this has been changed after the TLC, right?
I don't get it.
These points you just said about the like EP contract and OP contract, these are being changed after the TLC, after the conference that was held in February, right?
No, this was the last revision, and this version is the one from TLC. Ooh, there is a lot of lag. I am interrupting you. But I think that you asked if we had any change after TLC in this document, and the answer is we did change a lot of things, but not this one. But still, it's better if you verify and cross-check with the last version from TLC. But yeah, we didn't have any change yet for this.
So my major question was, my entity already changed the contracts and OP contract like in January or December. So they need to change it again?
I don't think so. My suggestion for you will be to request a template from them, and just check that this is in there. I don't think it will change because this is like that after IC, if I am not wrong. But to be sure, just request a template because all contracts should be the same. So request a template and verify with that. It's like, I don't think it will be 10 points, and that's it.
Okay, perfect. Got it.
If it's different, they should have to change. But it's not, then it's fine. Okay, there is any other question? about contracts, about templates. Do you know how is the process of legislation, or do you want for us to talk a little bit about that so you know what you have to legislate in the ECB Annex? You also can legislate in Indemnity Form, for example. So you know that all of the entities should use the same document. Okay, I guess we don't have more questions. Wait, I am not seeing the chat. No, we don't have more questions. What I will do now is that I will play some roll calls. Please stay until Cande, are you here?
Of course I'm here.
Yay! Cool. So about logistics, do you want me to play some roll calls? Because we are already over with our space. There are no more questions. And even if it's a working space, we already have all of the templates, so you can start working on them. You can do it now and we play the roll calls or something. You don't need to send us anything. If you want, we will receive it. We will evaluate it, of course, but it's not mandatory. So please give us a logistical path of how to proceed now.
Okay, Lila, do you want to have like I'm gonna turn on my camera. What happened with my camera? Ah, there's my camera. So Lila, do you want to have a working space or do you want to finish?
No, I think we can finish now.